Hey guys, my name's Anthony McGrath, and I thought I would put together this live stream FAQ video. I realise there's no prior warning on YouTube or anything to let people know that I was doing this, but I thought I'll just sort of hit record, get going. I wrote down a list of questions that I want to sort of rattle through with regards to me making the current short film I'm working on, which is Infinity Protocol. So I'm not sure if my microphone is recording brilliantly on this. The camera, it's all just sort of on the fly. But I thought I'll give it a go and just answer some questions that have been regularly thrown up on my YouTube community page, on Twitter, on Instagram, and a few things like that. So just to give you a little bit of info about me, I'm an animator, computer animator in the VFX film industry, and for television as well. I've been doing that for quite a while, and prior to that I was doing games dev work for PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4, doing animation as well and some character rigging. I'm a 44-year-old guy. I'm a dad of one little boy. He's 8 years old. I'm married as well. Things that I get up to when I'm not doing animation, computer animation, which is mostly what I show on YouTube. I'm quite a petrol head. I like tinkering with cars with my friends. I've practiced martial arts for over 20 years. Lately, well, for the last 15 years, I've been doing Wing Chun. Skydiver sometimes, less so lately, just with other things that I've got on. Yeah, I would base jump as well, but if I die doing that, my wife will kill me. So I thought I'd put this FAQ together for Infinity Protocol, because when I dropped the trailer, the first trailer, teaser trailer, which you can see playing on screen right now, I thought I got quite a lot of questions, and I didn't just get them on YouTube. I got them on my community YouTube page, I got them on Instagram, and I also got them on Twitter and various other things, even direct emails. And I've had numerous questions, people asking me different stuff, so I've compiled like a little list of them here, and I thought I'd just sort of quickly rattle through them, and if this was informative to people and they like it, then I'll try and do another live stream face to camera for people in the near future and give people a heads up. So the first one is, what is Infinity Protocol? Well, it's a short film I'm working on where time allows, because I've been working full-time for the VFX industry for pretty much all this year, working in a remote capacity because of COVID-19. So rather than being in a studio, I've been able to work from home, which has been really great because it's allowed me to look after my family as well as do work for a client, and then still have time in the evening to put together this short film. So the goal was, like my previous animation before it, which was called Gamma Protocol, was to create some fun, action-packed, Marvel-related short film animated that also tells a little story. So why make this film? I guess it's like some years ago, like I say, I made a film called Gamma Protocol, and that featured Tony Stark and taking on the Hulk in his Hulkbuster suit. I actually started that in 2014, right at the start of 2014, and in my sort of slight naivety, I would say, I just sort of sat there and said, oh, I'm going to make a Hulk film next. And I kind of sat down doing it, and a good friend and working colleague that I've worked with in the past, Matt Cushley, helped me out and produced the Hulk and Tony Stark models for me. And as we pushed forward with it, I kind of had this idea for doing like a bit of a prelude to where I thought Hulk might end up going. Because at the end of Age of Ultron, we saw the Hulk kind of on a ship floating away, and I thought, oh, I had this idea for like doing a kind of Planet Hulk prelude with that film. With that film, so the idea was that the Hulk was kind of raging out across America, and Tony Stark flew up with him, caught up with him, and he's basically trying to stop the Hulk from going postal before he's beamed off the planet, which is what you see in Gamma Protocol. You see a big battle between them, and at the end you see the Hulk get pulled off planet, and there's a post-credit sequence where he wakes up off-world. And then Thor Ragnarok came out. Doing that work actually landed me work on Thor Ragnarok as an animator, so that was really rewarding in a way, because it was also really hard work. I got to produce like animation for that film and do a few shots and stuff, and it was like really awesome to be part of that with another team, and I learnt loads doing it. So since then I've been sort of working for film studios and helping them on films, and also animation for high-end feature shows, some Netflix stuff, some Disney stuff, and then some commercial stuff as well, which all of it's been great. I've learned heaps doing it, and but at the back of my head I was always like, after finishing Gamma Protocol, I was like, oh man, I really enjoyed that. I learned as much about myself putting that together as I did actually doing the work. It really pushed me to kind of manage my own time, be my own producer, be a director, and it was fantastic to see it all coming together. So I knew at some point I was going to end up doing another one. It was just a question of what. So a few years later, Infinity War comes out, and I watched it, picked my jaw up off the floor when it came out of the cinema, and both me and my wife were chatting about it, and we ended up chatting about numerous alternative endings and fun directions that all the characters could go in. And I think that's one of the fun things about the MCU, is that we all love guessing where they're going to go next. Like, oh, maybe this is going to happen and that's going to happen. There's tons of speculation videos on YouTube. And one idea that we discussed in particular, it was sort of my wife's idea, was just mind-blowingly good. And I just had to go, right, I knew I wanted to do something with Hulk and Thanos. And I was just like, when this idea was sort of put in the mix amidst it all, I was like, yeah, this has got to happen. Like, no matter what, even if it hospitalizes me doing it, I have to do this animation. It's just too good an opportunity to pass up. And I genuinely think it might be something that people have never seen happen before. So basically, it's all her fault. So yeah. You've got her to blame for this happening. So what's it about? What's Infinity Protocol about? By the way, I am live. I am seeing all your comments. I'm going to try and jump on them at some point. I just want to get through this first, but I tend to babble a lot as well, so apologies for that. What's Infinity Protocol about? Basically, by the end of Endgame, I watched Infinity War, and very quickly it becomes apparent that Thanos is super powerful. He's capable of kicking Hulk's butt in 30 seconds, which we see happen. But at the same time, I felt that was very much like a Rocky 3 moment. Like we see Clubber Lang in Rocky 3 take on Stallone, and he makes such a mess of him so quickly and early on that Stallone's character Rocky has to actually go away and really rethink how he's doing stuff and come up with a new approach. And to the end, when it gets to the final fight at the end, obviously he wins and things like this, but he's gone on quite a journey for it. And I felt like we saw that set up in Infinity War, and it never got resolved in Endgame. We didn't see that moment between Hulk and Thanos. And I know a lot of other fans were kind of eager to see that. I know I was. And Endgame was fantastic. I mean, all of us punched the air when Captain America grabs that Mjolnir and starts chinning Thanos with it. Iron Man and Thor all get get their hands in it. Captain Marvel gets her hands on it all, and it's the whole film is incredible. Like, I can't fault it, but at the same time, I was like, I really wish I'd seen this moment between the two of them. Just a bit of, even just a brief moment of Hulk getting some licks on Thanos, and sadly it didn't happen. And I thought that was a really great chance for me to sort of put something together. So I'm just reading through my notes there that I've wrote. I mean, Hulk had some great scenes. Doing the finger snap with the gauntlet was just so cool. I just thought, what, it'd be fun to do like a battle between the two, and other people have done it on YouTube. And I thought, I didn't just want to do a battle, I wanted to do something different with it. And one of the things I've been asked is like, why are you using Professor Hulk? And it's quite simply, that's the Hulk we have at the end of Endgame. He's not just this mindless monster, he's a person, he's a character. And we get to see him go on loads of massive journey. We're going to get to see him go on a lot of a journey, I think, over the course of the next batch of MCU films. So, but I also thought, like, there's a chance to do something really cool here, because at the end of Endgame we see him do the finger snap and there's not much left of his arm. So one of the questions I got is, what's with the Winter Soldier arm that you've stuck on the Hulk? And again, I just thought, like, with Banner, he's all about learning and progressing, so it stands to reason after visiting the Ancient One in the Endgame and seeing the magic that Doctor Strange could create, that he might become involved with that world. He might take an interest in it in much the same way he did with science and everything else. So for me, the scene in Endgame was really poignant, when he talks to Ancient One and they discuss timelines and alternate realities and things like that. And I thought, this actually ties in with what I'd like to do, with what me and my wife discussed for me going forward and doing. And I thought, like, for me it was like, what if the Hulk or Banner and Doctor Strange and the other characters had actually come up with some kind of magical artifact for him to have on his arm. And if you look closely in the trailer, which is playing in the background behind me, you'll see that the Hulk actually does have some kind of artifact. Like, it's obviously a cybernetic looking arm, but you see in the trailer, like you can see right now, there's just a hint at the Doctor Strange logo on his shoulder. We even see him doing some magic in the film, in this trailer, some brief little bits. And the whole idea of the film is to produce something very visually different, not just, Hulk's here, Thanos is here, they're in this location, and let's fight. It was to take them on a bit of a visual journey, and it's a bit of a nod to everything I've loved in the MCU. I've loved the Doctor Strange film. That's the magical mystery tour that Doctor Strange goes on at the start. I had to pick my jaw up off the floor in the cinema. I was just like, this is everything I wanted to see from cinema. Pushing it in new directions, doing absolutely really crazy visuals. So I thought, like, this is a chance for me to implement some of that into this animated film that I want to do. So so that's kind of like where I'm going with it, and I think the first trailer that I've got here shows that. If you've been following my community page on YouTube, you'll see I've been posting up lots of little animated GIFs and tests and things like that. I really want to do something wildly different. I've been doing live streams on YouTube, which are just very, very rough animation for now. It's just to get an idea of what I want the characters to do in that beat of the film. But I tend to just sort of switch on the computer late at night and I just go, you know what, I'm doing something, live stream. Whoever's watching is watching. Whoever jumps in, awesome. If not, watch it later. It'll always be recorded. It's just, I think the nice thing about that is I'm showing that it doesn't always go perfect to plan. It takes a long time. It doesn't always go to plan. Some of the live streams are a mess, and some have worked quite well. I've gone to do a quick 2-second shot. I'm like, that's not a bad first quick pass. Some of them are like, yeah, that needs some love. That's kind of like what I'm doing with all of this. I just thought I'll keep it a very open book. I don't want to give too much away about what's happening in it, but I thought I'll keep it a nice open book with regards to the production and the development of it. And if people take an interest in that, fantastic. So one of the questions is this a sequel to Gamma Protocol? It's not. No. I thought it'd be fun to call it that because of what happens in the film throughout the sequence. I don't want to give too much away again, but yeah, it's there's lots of fun stuff happening in it. So how long is this film going to be? Someone asked, is it going to be an hour? At least an hour it has to be. You've worked on this for over a year. It's not going to be an hour. I'm sorry. It's a short film. A film that's anything of an hour or 2 hours, something like the Endgame, requires hundreds of thousands of artists for every department, whether they're modeling, texturing, rigging, characters, animation, lighting and rendering, compositing, all the production crew, all the supervisors, all the directors, and the amount of man hours is in the hundreds of millions. It has to be to produce a film like Endgame. It's crazy, and yeah, it's not going to be an hour. This is me at home doing it in my evenings, maybe a few times a week if I'm lucky. And outside of that, like I say, I'm sometimes working for clients, and I'm a dad as well, so I obviously have to spend time with my kid and things like that. So yeah, this is just sort of what I can put together in my evenings as I'm allowed, and I also obviously have to rest at times as well. So yeah, it's going to be longer than Gamma Protocol though. I mean, currently it's sitting around 9 minutes on the first video that I've the edit that I've got, which I'm not showing you yet because it gives too much away. But yeah, it's definitely going to be longer than Gamma Protocol, I would say. There's someone asked about the audio levels, because the audio quality on Gamma Protocol was basically just what I'm capable of doing. But one of the things I'm looking to hopefully do with this is improve the audio quality as well and really make it pop. So I've got a guy that's interested in helping me out, and if I can collate some money together, then I'll be paying him to help me out with it. So another question here. Hulk would go Super Saiyan level 9000 World Breaker and destroy Thanos. Yeah. If you work off the premise that Hulk is all just rage and anger, then yeah, he would. I can do that alternate film if you'd like. It will be 6 seconds long, where Hulk punches Thanos so hard he explodes, and the film would end. I might do it just for some fun. So another one. Why is this taking so long? As I said earlier, I've been working full time on studios, for studios and feature film and high-end work. The last film I've just been working on for even just a brief bit of time is a well-known trilogy. I can't say anything about it, but I was absolutely honoured to be part of it. I'm hoping they call me back into it early on next year for 2021. But I was absolutely honoured to just even be briefly on it. It's one of my all-time favourite films. It's in my top 3 easily, and I'm just super chuffed to have got a part on it. So while I was doing that, that was like 9 till 6, if not a bit longer. Working remotely has its advantages because a studio could say, hey, is there a chance you could fix this at 9 o'clock tonight? And I can quickly switch on my PC. If I worked in London, it might be an hour's commute to get to the studio, sign in, blah blah blah, do the work, and then actually an hour going home. Whereas at home working remote, I can just pick up my phone, emails, and I'm just like, yep, sure, I'll get on that now, and I switch on my computer, and 20 minutes later it's done. And that's fantastic for the studio, and it's fantastic for me because I'm still with my family and I'm still getting to work for them. But yeah, I mean, the film's taking so long because when I was doing that and other things, I'm not just working on this. I've got a bunch of other things that I'm working on which aren't animation related or anything to do with YouTube, so I'm cooking them along as well. So most of this film has been put together at 10 a.m. to 2 a.m., 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. shifts in my evenings as I've had the energy, and it's still, a lot of it is still in a rough stage, but once I get all that locked down, then hopefully I can coerce some other animators that I know to help me on board and just say, right, that's what I need from the shot, have fun. If you come up with anything cooler than what I've quickly prevised out, then amazing, I'm sure we'll make it work. So yeah, that's kind of like a rough overview of Infinity Protocol right now. Like I say, I think the trailer's looking quite cool. there's a lot of crazy stuff happening in there, and yeah, I'm hoping you'll all enjoy it. I'm going to quickly run through the comments now and just see what people are asking and saying. So yeah, someone balancing art time with schoolwork is already a headache. Yeah, it is, and it doesn't change when you get older. It's yeah, you've if you want to do it, you've just got to stick your nose down and do it. You've got to find the hours to do stuff, you know. But if it's truly something you enjoy in doing, it won't feel like a chore, even when it's 2 a.m. at night. I mean, the amount of times I've gone to bed and my wife's just gone, "You're an idiot. It's 2 a.m. What are you doing? It's 3 a.m. What are you doing?" And it's like, the problem is that I just can't rest until I've done what I needed to do that night for example, this film. And you really do have to sort of find the time, you know. But if it's what you love doing, you will find the time. You'll make the time. And when you see it come alive and come to fruition, what you want to do, you'll just get there. You know, it will just happen. It won't be without its headaches. It won't be without its problems. Computers have a knack of just going, "Hey, I want to mess something up for you," but you will do it. You'll find a way around it if you want to do it. So yeah, I can feel that. You know, I know where you're coming from. How many time do you take to make that? Right. Okay. Yeah. This trailer's took a year to get to this point. To building digital assets and putting them all together into shots, doing the animation, getting the look dev set up so it actually renders half decent with lighting and everything, doing effects like you see in this shot. Yeah, that was fun. So yeah, that's it's took a long time to get this stage, and it's still taking a long time. And you know, it's just what I can do. But I thought, like I say, as I said earlier, I thought it'd be nice to keep an open book about this and just say, you know, not to give away the surprises. I don't want to do that for you all, but to show things. And if I'm doing live streams and you see something cool, then awesome. You know, there's going to be a lot of surprises in this, I think. And yeah, that's the plan with it, to make people feel like they go on a little bit of a journey, not just watch a punch up, because that's easy. I did that in the last film. This one is to make something that's not just a punch up, but also a little bit of a story and escalate towards something, and at the same time still have people just going, "This was so cool, I want to frame by frame that moment." If I do that and I'm making people watch it 2 or 3 times, then I've done my job. So yeah. So yeah, there's going to be lots coming from it. Yeah, so I'm just reading through the comments. Thank you for doing Hulk justice. Can't wait to see what you do with my boy in this new vid. Yeah, I'm hoping to do something new and exciting with him. Like I say, we can all do Hulk just pumping Thanos so hard he explodes. It's coming up with something new and visually interesting, you know, and that's what I'm looking to do with this. Yeah, so yeah, go work at Marvel Studios. Yeah, it's not as easy as that. You don't just sort of apply for a job there. To my knowledge, they contact you. But it's cool because I've got to work in VFX studios that do work for Marvel, and I've been able to help. I mean, the last Marvel film I worked on was Spider-Man Far From Home. I've not worked on nearly as many as a lot of the guys I know out there who are incredible animators. They are so skilled. I've learnt masses from them, masses of information and skills just through how they tackle a shot or an animation. And yeah, there's so many talented artists in the VFX industry, and seriously underrated. You know, like just jump on any Marvel film, find the credits, find some names in the animation department or whatever area you're interested in, and Google them. Just Google, go and find them, find their Instagram page, find their YouTube page if they've got one, and see what they're up to, because you often find they're doing some really cool little animations outside of the studio work that they're doing. So you'll learn loads from them as well. And I think in the near future I might try and do a little video sharing some people who I really respect and have worked alongside and seen them do stuff. So there's a phone, bear with me. So yeah, I think you can learn a heap. I've got a really old phone. It's with a potato. I'm pretty sure it's half of it's potato internals. Yeah. So yeah. I think you can learn a lot from those guys, and like I say, I've got to work on Marvel films. The result, working on Spider-Man: Far From Home was awesome. We worked on the scene where Mysterio plays for Spider-Man's mind, called the Illusion Battle, and that was like 100 shots, which became something. It changed wildly towards the end. You know, they had a direction and going, it's going to be this and this, and then 3 months from the end, they added like 80 new shots in, and it turned into this complete Doctor Strange style trip. And it actually turned out to be, I think, the one scene that most people really enjoyed in the film. The film's great, but that's the scene that everyone seems to remember when Mysterio plays with Spidey's head. And it was really great to work on that, because I got to work on that from a previous level through to final shots. Yeah, it was really great, because we were exploring lots of different ideas and showing those to Marvel and going, what do you think of this? You know, corridors twisting and falling apart and all kinds of crazy effects. So yeah, that was really cool, and I think that's like showing through in this trailer. You know, is I want to do something different. Like I love that shot of Hulk falling there, and you know, I want to do something different with this, something visually arresting, something exciting. You know, as well as just some cool action. So yeah, Miles Morales' scene is amazing. Thanks. Yeah, it was good fun dropping him in there. Again, this film is Hulk and Thanos related, so don't expect him to take over the film, or any of the characters. I'm trying to keep it real, like Hulk and Thanos centric, because that's what the film's about. So is this the Peter Rabbit trilogy, Davey? Yeah. Should I drop him in there as an Easter egg, or just Howard the Duck maybe? Just have him in there, see if I can get the voice of Biff Tannen on there as well. Yeah, so what else have we got here? We need more people like you. You need to be cloned, good sir. Yeah, I wish I could clone myself sometimes. I'd get this done faster. Will Hulk be nerfed like in the MCU in this short film, or will his strength get justice? You'll have to see. We'll see what happens. Have your children expressed interest in your career or any other forms of art? Oh, good question. Actually, my son is 8 years old, and he's quite fond of tinkering with ZBrush, and recently just started picking up Houdini. He likes Photoshop for just drawing basic pixel art, but he quite likes ZBrush, although he, you know, just taking like a model. I think the last time he took a blue whale model and just put dragon scales all over it and all kinds of fangs and teeth, and I was like, that thing looks evil. we need to drop that in an animation somewhere. But yeah, I was showing him a little bit of Houdini last week, and he quite likes that. You know, it's the node-based approach to creating animations and things. So hey, there's Sarp. Hey Sarp, how are you doing? Sarp Serta's in the comments there on the live feed. This guy worked on quite a few Marvel films over the years. He's one of the animators at Frame Store in London. Really talented animator. If you're not following him, he's got a YouTube page. Check him out. He's phenomenally skilled animator, and I learned heaps of stuff watching how he tackles shots, as well as some of the other guys that are there. And yeah, so definitely, if you can see him in the comments there, click on him, follow him. He's really cool. So that's as one of the guys there says, Sarp, link your profile in here and people can follow you on it, or just click on his name there, or just search for him on YouTube. Just open a new YouTube tab and search for Sarp Serta and you'll find him. That's kind of like everything I've got to say so far about this. If you've any more questions, this will go live pretty soon. Not live, it will get recorded and stuck up on YouTube soon. So if you've got any comments or questions or anything you want to put, drop them in there and I'll try and answer them. Regarding music and stuff, I do actually already have somebody looking at that for me. So yeah, I'll be tackling that route first before I reach out to anybody else. But yeah, yeah, me too, Sarp. I'm really looking forward to watching it too. I can sit back and have a moment after doing this. But yeah, so that's all I want to say for it so far. I hope you've enjoyed this little live stream, and I'll try and do some more in the near future. And yeah, I just want to say thanks to everyone who's following me on YouTube. And like I say, you can see there's a GoFundMe page if you want to drop a dollar or two. That's actually money that I'm hoping to use to reach out to the sound guys and actually pay them for their time, because I don't want to be just doing this for free. It's like I actually want to pay people for the time. If I get an animator on it, if I can give them a little bit of money for helping me out, then that's going to help them out in general. You know, it's easier for them to sit there late at night and work on something for me if I'm able to make it worth their while. But yeah, yeah, there's like lots to come in the near future, and loads of it I haven't shown yet on this, and I can't because it will just spoil it. But yeah, like I say, this video will go up on my YouTube page, so feel free to drop any comments in, and yeah, like just hope to speak to you all soon. Okay, cheers.